Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Ripster Daily Trade Recaps and Daily Teachings. Alright guys, insane start of the week. Something you would learn today is about how to find those long plays, strong sectors, where to focus on all day long. Before we start, let's do a quick disclaimer. Anything we discuss is only for educational purpose, not a financial advice. So let's do an introduction for any new members or the new followers or people who are new to our community or new to our X accounts. Let's do a quick introduction and then we'll start and talk about today's trade setups and the biggest learning lesson from this today's trades. So we trade a repeatable system that thousands of traders across the world use to trade consistently. The system, Ripster EMA Cloud system, the system also consists of all the teachings, all the concepts, trading concepts that I teach day in and day out. So system is how you trade, setup is what you trade. System is how you trade, setup is what you trade. How to find these setups? To find these setups, me and my team, we make this pre-market plan in our community. We trade in our community every day with this system and these setups. Our community is one of the largest trading, live trading and educational trading community online. So every morning I'm on live pre-market planning. We go through these plays, which has news plays, earning plays, upgrades, downgrades, index stocks. We make an initial game plan how we are going to trade them. We have a support level, resistance level. We also have an MTF level. We make an initial game plan how we're going to trade them, and we follow that plan all day long. All the big plays like coin, MSTR, everything was on our pre-market plan, and that's what we followed. So we also trade something called day 2, day 3 strategy. This is another repeatable strategy that I've been teaching for a long time. There was a bunch of good winners on these setups as well. We will talk about them as well. In addition to that, we also provide pre-market planning for future traders who can trade the futures with the Ripster Cloud system and also using the pre-market guidance. Of course, we trade crypto stocks every day. You can watch these crypto levels. The day like today is why we trade the crypto stocks, right? Coin, MSTR, CLSK. Everything was a bullish move today. We also provide the daily levels for the ETF stocks, for the for the Mag 7s, the most liquid stocks. The traders can use this and trade them. All this, how to trade them, all the guidance, everything is also freely available on YouTube. 1,000+ timestamp recaps, thousands of videos on YouTube. We also have these webinars with PowerPoints and videos for over 25+ webinars, which will teach you these things if you want to trade these setups with us. Of course, I teach this freely as well. I'm usually on the voice first few hours of the market open, guiding the traders through the trade setups, what is long, what is short, looking at the market, and trying to find the opportunities in the market. Also, we have thousands of traders on our trading floor, trading all day long, trying to find good opportunities in the stock market, so for the account growth, so we can have big winners and small losers. We have a lot of tools in our community. We have over 3 option flow scanners, stock scanners. We have multiple screen shares going all day long, breaking news alert. We have the fastest news anywhere that we get on the voice news alerts. We have hold, unhold, we have order flow, support resistance alerts. We have tools over $500, $600 which are freely available for the traders in the community. Anyways, that's being said, we will go to today's trade setups, go through the big huge day that the community had on these setups and how did we nail them. Let's start. So the key lesson today in which I'm going to focus is on the sector strength, right? You don't have to trade something every day. You have to trade what is super strong. You have to find the strongest sector, right? Anything I'm going to show you, it's not a hindsight. Anything I told long traders to long at the open, by end of the day, they were multi-baggers by 600-700%, coin, hood, MSTR, right? So there's no hindsight from me. So I'm just trying to teach you, in a single day, if you have these setups, you hold all day, your $1,000, you can turn into $7,000, $6,000. When you lose, you will lose $500, $600. That's what we are trying to do in the stock market. Big winners and day like this. So these opportunities will come to you if you prepare. If you see today all these examples I'm going to show you what was happening with the Bitcoin, right? So let's look at the Bitcoin here on the levels here. So Bitcoin was coming into today was really bullish. The last 2 days it was really pushing strength in that, right? So since the Bitcoin had a strength, we made a pre-market plan on coin, MSTR, BMNR, that Bitcoin is strong. Also we'll talk about MSTR, why we were trading that, and Circle of course is a stable coin stock, so we watch it that way. If I want you to clearly look at these levels on coin, MSTR, CLSK, pause the screen, see how they worked out all day. So now how did we find it, right? So as soon as the market opened, I keep eyes, we have multiple scanners, we have option flow. I'm looking at 100 charts right at the open, right? I'm looking at my market analysis. I do this market analysis tab where I look at what sector is strong, right? I'm taking a look all day long on what is the strongest sector, which is finding strength. So what I noticed this morning was Bitcoin was pretty strong, and right away I told the traders that the BTC, if it pushes, we're gonna get multiple breakouts. So even when I was tweeting yesterday, so when I tweeted this morning that crypto is strong, it needs to stay strong, all the crypto stocks are good setups, right? No hindsight, I tweeted that right after 10 minutes open, right? So anyways, so what we were doing with it, right? What we were doing with it, Bitcoin being strong, the one thing I was telling traders was to trade IBIT. You see this was the breakout on Bitcoin on the 10-minute chart, 9:30. When I saw this breakout right here, that was telling me that I should be long on all the crypto strong, right? This is the IBIT long. This is a Bitcoin ETF, right? I was not looking at SPY. I was not looking at QQQs. I was not worried about them. I was not worried about Netflix and all those names. I wanted to be in the crypto stocks, and I wanted to be in the stocks which are strong. This is how I found the sector is strong. You have to analyze the multiple charts at the same time, keep your eyes open. So IBIT was a good long. It's a Bitcoin ETF. You see the long from the morning that I gave on IBIT was from the 64s, and you made $1 there. Even if you risk, let's say you're risking $200, you made $1,000 by end of the day. So that was the way to trade Bitcoin, IBIT. So that's how we were long on Bitcoin, using the IBIT Bitcoin ETF long, and you buy 1,000 shares here, right? You see 945, 64s, you put your stops at 20 cents lower at the 512s or the pre-market highs, you take it all the way to 65, you make $1,000, right? So that's how you trade these setups. And let's see, this was just the Bitcoin, how we killed it and how the trades were multi-baggers just on this one Bitcoin boom day. All right, the first one we're going to start with is looking at let's take a look at MSTR first, right? So what was the plan on MSTR in the pre-market? MSTR was our high watch today. It was a day 2 setup, long over 314, 317 versus MTF, no go under. There was a typo here. So we already had the plan on MSTR, and so if you see that our plan on MSTR was so that was the plan. Like I said, long over, what did I say in the pre-market? I said long over 314, 317, no go under, bullish bias. So I already had a bullish bias on MSTR because I did prepared yesterday night. This is our MTF Clouds. When it swiped over the MTF Cloud, this is when it confirmed me the long. I told the traders on watch, and MSTX you can trade the leverage ETF long, and as soon as pushed I told the traders to start our longs. Once we break out the pre-market highs, I told the traders to scale in, and I told them to hold into 10 a.m. and from that 316 it ran all the way to 325. That's a $9 per share profit on there, right? If you look at it on the options, even the options on MSTR just went crazy. The 320 calls ran from $6 all the way to $12. Now what happens is there's a concept that I teach. We did exit here on the 512s, but then this is called reclaim. The reclaim of the clouds is even more stronger. That's when I sent this, you see this concept, reclaim of the clouds is even more stronger. This is my repeatable strategy as well. My system, whenever you reclaim, it's even more bullish. We broke out, and that's when you get long back 322s, 320 risk, and you take it back to 327s. That was the other opportunity to make the decent push on that. The thing with MSTR was that it had So, it's been falling on a downtrend for a long time. So today was amazing opportunity to make on money on that. So you could see that timestamp guidance. No hindsight, the traders really killed MSTR today. One of our top plays. Beautiful trade all day long. MSTR, no hindsight, no BS, pre-market planning. Top play, made it red, and no excuses. The day like today, the traders, my traders, they make it for the entire week and sometimes for entire month. So let's look at the next one here. So looking at the circle, so let's see what circle was doing here today. So circle was also on my high focus. The reason circle was on my high focus is, again, I prepare a day prior. That's why I teach you guys as well. So circle was our high focus because, let's take a look here. Let's see if I can do that here. Yeah. Okay. So circle, same thing. MTF long, Ripster MTF Clouds long, right? And why was it? Also crypto strong, stable coin. It's been selling off for a few days. I like this. I was watching it yesterday, like that chart setup on circle. That's why circle was one of our top day 2 setups as well. Circle trade versus 1 hour MTF, long over the MTF, short below. So that was the plan on the core weave, long or MTF, right? Simple plan, simple strategy. As soon as the MTF pushes, MTF long, the stops at 129. It ran from 130 to 138, and that was our $8 per share profit. You buy 1,000 shares, 500 shares, you buy 100 shares even, right? You're risking what? You're risking, $200, but if you hold, you're making $700-800 there, right? So you can see step guidance. MTF long stops at 129, move the stops to 130, target 133. MTF magnet complete, MTF to MTF, and we have hit our target. We sold some. I told the traders to hold into 10 a.m. kept pushing. We kept our stops break even. I told the traders the second target is 135.50. We met our second target as well. I did tell the traders that we still have some more room, and we hit towards 137.80, 138. Insane trade there on circle. As you could see, that was a beautiful winner for everyone in the community. Literally nailed it. Illiquid options if you're an option trader, but you still got more than 150% there on circle. Let's go to the next one. All right, so next one you're gonna look at is Robinhood. So let's see what was our plan on Robinhood. Okay, so same thing. Robinhood was also an MTF long. MTF long, right? So this was Robinhood. Let's go look at our so hood was always the similar setup. If you see, the hood has been under the 1 hour MTF clouds for some time, right? 1 hour MTF cloud once, failed twice, and you see that today it was a breakout. So why was hood a top breakout? It was a daily breakout. You can see that. Also, it's a crypto stock. It's one of our crypto list stock, right? So I told the traders that you can long all these crypto stocks. You can long Robinhood. It was an MTF long. I told the traders to hold it to 10 a.m. all day long. I told the traders, do not sell your full position, hold the 512, pullback, 512, pullback, add, pullback, flag. So hood made one of the biggest move that it has made recently. It was a home run trade today for the traders. If you see that all day long, and even when I was tweeting that it's still holding, we move the stops to 131, then we move the stops to 135. MTF long, range breakdown. So Bitcoin strong, the sector strong, daily breakout, everything. It makes it beautiful trade. The way you trade this is, I always teach you guys in the videos, recaps, tweets, and also in community, that let's say you make initial 100% or 200% trade on your option trades, or let's say you're trading shares, you made a couple of grand or whatever, then you take that and buy the further lottos. So you'll roll further, right? If you look at today, if you're initially on the 130 calls, they went from $1, 150 to $5. You take some of the profit out, throw that profit into further maybe 135 calls, right? And then that can also give you 100% return, right? So you see this, how these lottos went from $1 to $5, or $1 to $8, 700% return. You need to hold. You cannot size like crazy. You need to size that you're willing to lose. If you're willing to lose 100%, of course it's assumed risk, we don't want to lose 100%, then you're gonna make that 700% because you're gonna roll, hold, or you trade the leverage ETFs, right? So we traded the other day, we traded Robin, that's a leverage ETF. Small account traders can trade that. You buy the shares, trade it all the way long towards the 100 psychological level. So that was a Robinhood, huge trade for us today. So next one we're going to look at is coin. Okay, so what was coin doing? So coin was initially not that strong, but coin came in later, right? Because we were already strong, already long on a bunch of other names, but coin joined the party later. So coin joined the party and the traders asked me, I was said, yes, you can long it, use the stops at 318. So use the stops at 318. And I told the traders to hold all those longs into 10 a.m. You can see that. And as we started to move up, we continued to move the stops up. Here was the pre-market plan. Let's take a look at the pre-market plan on coin. What was the pre-market plan? Pre-market plan on coin was daily MTF resistance long over 321. So that was the plan given to the traders. And as soon as we break the 321, that becomes a long because the 2021 MTF Cloud. What is 2021 MTF Cloud? Those are the EMA clouds from the daily charts on our 10-minute charts, and coin never really broke down under the 512s until this where it broke down right there. And as you see that, we were long on a bunch of stuff. We were long on circle there. Even on the coin, you could see that that's how we were breaking 1 hour MTF, 2021 MTF all day long. I did tweet out as well during the day that coin and Robinhood are both holding well on the midday clouds that you need to hold, and that's how you get the big wins, right? I talked about coin, hood, MSTR. I told the traders, even on my Twitter followers, to let it work, right? The traders usually jump around different setups. When there's a setup which gives you pullback long, you should not be scared to long this one right here. And even if you long there, like there were a lot of traders in the hood, they were asking me, there's nothing to trade, and I told them that you have to trade same things. Don't look for the other stuff. Look for the strongest sectors, strongest stocks which are strong. Buy them on the pullback. And then he bought it, and he bought another 50. He made a 50% trade on that, right? So you see that just an example of the trader who was looking for a trade, but I told him that you can't just try to find new trades. You can't just think it's gone. I missed it. No, you didn't really miss it. That's your midday long setup. This is what I teach, right? So anyways, you see how the flawless all this works. The system, there's no system like this, incredible, like I show you. No hindsight, always real time. So let's look at another trade which were on a watch list was BMNR. I highlighted it as a red. MTF Confluence trade versus that if volume bullish. Again, BMNR is also crypto. It's ETH, right? So it runs with the crypto. It was a nice trade today by RGV. I gave the stops at 50. Earlier I gave the stops at right here, and I hold to the traders to hold into 10 a.m. It broke out here, guidance by RGV. It pushed to the 5460 and finally broke down, and you got out there. So many opportunities. I mean, there was an insane amount of opportunities there. It was just amazing. All right, let's look at another one now. So there are many other good names. This is example of a cup and handle setup, TTD. I talked about this on last week that it's a good swing if it gets out of this level. You can see that you can draw your handle here, and then you can draw your cup here. It doesn't have to be textbook. It needs to make sense to you. So don't worry about that or what others say. If it makes sense to you, it's a long. So I told the traders this, it's a good cup and handle breakout, and then you see the 2021 MTF long. There's another flag here intraday, and it continued to run. The trader was asking me, should we hold the swing? So I told them for TTD, 50 is your key to hold that. If it pushes over 50, as TTD will face resistance at 50. If close over 50 will swing, right? So it's a really nice push all day long. You could trade that TTD setup, and this was a daily flag setup. As you see, I was guiding the traders continuously on this flag step by step. All right, let's look at the loser we had today. The loser that we had today was Tesla. So let's take a look at Tesla. So Tesla, we longed at the open, and remember, Tesla has been running for so many days. It gave us an amazing trade on Friday midday. and it today kind of pushed and puked. We longed at 4 stops, 446 at the open at 448, pulled back, we took a $2 loss, and we were out of it, right? So we didn't touch it later because our system tells it's a fail, right? You don't really need to hold it all day, pray it turns bullish. There was no long on Tesla all day long. Once this area was gone, that was it. You were supposed to step away, and that was our loser today. But that's how it is. The losers small, and you saw the winners big. Losers $2, winners running $15. That's how you do it. All right, so next one I'm going to look at is Netflix and it's Disney. The reason I want to talk about this is there was a news in the pre-market on Netflix and Disney that 100% movie tariff. I told the traders to wait for the amateur move. Wait for the amateur move, because what we think is bearish might be bullish, right? So tariff, we have seen this before. Disney and Netflix makes a lot of moves in the US. So anyways, you don't even need to analyze this news. You know that if everybody thinks it's bearish, it can squeeze out those shorts. You see it squeezed out all those shorts who were short right at the open, squeezed out, and pushed right here. It did become bearish later in the day when it broke the 512s right here. That's where it was short, and it went down, and overall just a choppy end of the day, up and down. But you could see that what these two stocks were doing on the tariff news. Disney also squeezed up and went sideways. Anybody who tried to short it at the open got destroyed. That's why you have to understand the news. You have to learn how the stock reacts and understand the personality and see the historic repetition of any historic recap of what has happened before can happen again. Similar kind of news. All right, let's look at some more setups here. Let's take a look at Costco. Costco was our day to short. Let's take a look here. Let's look at the game plan on Costco. Number one day to short. It was a number one day to play. Our Costco was our number one day to play. So Costco earning day too long or that, short under that, and you see that short under that level kind of popped around. 10 a.m. is when it gave a short, went all day down, right? So that was Oracle, Costco. Another one was a great short was Oracle. Let's take a look at Oracle. So Oracle was also a day to short. It was in the gap. MTF breakdown, gap. I told the traders no long, 283 breaks, it goes lower. I told the traders to use the stops at 285, 286, and that's what exactly what happened. It broke 283, it went to 279, went into a little chop here, was staying under the yesterday lows, could not get over the yesterday lows, closed bearish. We'll see what it does tomorrow. If it reclaims the 20 EMA, then we might get long again for a bounce towards 300. But today it was a gap fill short. If it stays under that, tomorrow might be short again. Everything was a pre-market guidance, nice guidance in a pre-market. We do not do hindsight. We trade in the pre-market. You could see that how you grab under 285. That was the plan. 285 break and flush. Beautiful guidance, pre-market planning by our team here on Oracle day 2 short. So these are the day 2 setups that you must learn. It's very good strategy. Next one we're going to take a look at is Pony. So let's see what was Pony doing today. Pony was a long in the morning. Pony, let's see, it was one of the highlighted plays here. Let's take a look. So Pony was one of the highlighted plays. So you see Pony had a buy as a Citibank. So bullish bias to long if 22 holds. I like it because the Citibank's a tier 1, and right away the Pony, just as a pre-market plan, kind of just zipped right at the open for a push over 22. As soon as it held the 22, pushed over 2040, went right into 23.4. So it was a nice trade long in the morning for us as well. All right, so that was it for today, guys. SPY QQQ, we can recap quickly and see what was SPY QQQ doing. SPY QQQ was nothing but they were just gap fill shorts midday. That was the setup. It was SPY was a gap fill. It broke under here and flushed to MTF. You had to have some patience, but you see we filled the gap, right? So I did say that to the traders in the community that SPY is our gap failed to call. We see that midday gap short now, right? So that was a trade on SPY QQQ. I gave the traders in the midday trade on SPY QQQ short. You can see that this was the gap short here, 664 to 662. If you had held patience and the clouds, you would made a really nice trade on that for some midday profits.